So I drove 17,000 miles, and turns out at the end of the year, I ended up paying less than I would have paid for gasoline on a Vespa scooter. And so that's what we're going to be going over today. I took my Tesla in January 13th of this year to get the MCU upgraded. And at that point, they logged 53,000 miles on my odometer. And as of today, I'm sitting at about 70,000 miles on the odometer. So that is a total of 17,000 miles driven just one short year. What I'm going to do is break this down in a way for you that you can actually apply your own electric bill charges to my mileage driven, so you would know exactly how much you would pay regardless of where you're situated in the country. So going ahead and hopping right into it, let's look at my electric bill and show you how to calculate your own cost. This will be very quick. First of all, I've got an energy charge per kilowatt of 0.06. Then I have a exempt fuel cost of 0.03 and a taxed fuel cost of 0.005, which brings us to a grand total of 0.10 per kilowatt hour that is being used. The Tesla app is a very handy app, and it actually shows my total kilowatt hours charged over the course of this 17,000 miles. And so what I am seeing is 6,756 kilowatt hours that I charged for the course of the whole year. Now, you'll also notice that it breaks it down into total supercharged and charged in other areas. Now, I will admit I had a little snafu, and I put other listed as my home charger. So the other cost and the home cost, those are all actually charged at my house. I can talk about that in another video, but just know those two combined are actually my home charging. So if you take just all the amount that I charged at my house, it's 5,521 kilowatt hours times the 0.10 that it cost me to charge. You would see that my total cost for the whole year is $552. Now, keep in mind that doesn't factor in the supercharging cost. And I will say, I personally have unlimited free supercharging. So what I ended up doing to calculate the supercharging cost is I went and looked at the average cost that a supercharger charges. So keep in mind, if you're in California, it might be slightly more. If you're here in Florida, it might be slightly less. But the average is 0.36 per kilowatt hour charged. So if you do the 1,235 kilowatt hours supercharged times the 0.36, you would get a grand total of $444. Now, obviously, if you add that to the $552, you would all in have paid $996 for one entire year of driving 17,000 miles. So if you drive less than that or you drive more than that, then your cost would vary. But that is ridiculous. So whenever I was looking at my personal calculation, again, I have the free supercharging, I only paid $552. And I thought, what is like the most gas efficient vehicle or means of transportation outside of a bicycle that I could think of, which would be a Vespa scooter. And so those get around 90 miles per gallon. So what I ended up doing is taking 17,000 miles, divided it by 90 miles per gallon, and you get 188 gallons used to drive that far. Now, I can't imagine anyone putting that much on their Vespa, but maybe they do, which would give you, if you multiply the 188 times $3.15 per gallon, which is what it's currently going for in my neck of the woods, that'd be an all-in cost of $595 for the cost of a scooter versus my Tesla. But if you have varying charging costs, put that down below in what you pay. Keep in mind, when you look at your electric bill, you need to factor in all of those costs. So yes, you do have to include in the energy cost for the fuel and the non-exempt. It'll look different for everyone's electric bill. But factor that in and put down below what your cost is in the different parts of the country. I think people will find it helpful. It was helpful in my previous video where people were listing out paying as much as, I think, 56 cents in California for their home charging costs. So you'll see it varies wildly, me sitting at 10 cents per kilowatt hour. But anyway, hope that's helpful. Consider liking, consider subscribing, and I'll let you guys get back to it. Thanks.